Get that away from me,
Okay,
please.
so well, with the selection tool, I just put up this wall quick. Now, where it's nice and handy in conjunction with the first two tools we're just talking about is all I did was put up my selection box and use my add tool to add all the material in at once. You can also go back and put your selection box over, and then I'll just use my delete tool and target the selection box, and it's going to replace that with our error. Now, if I want to go back and put virgin error in there, I actually would go in and use the heal tool, and that's what we'll talk about next. Is what heal tool does is actually put the environment the way it was when we first got here. And it is in itself a very powerful tool because it's the only tool that allows us to play with those two other voxels in the game, which are the virgin air voxels, which are there before we place our claim, and the virgin material voxels, which are the ones that make up the ground or the environment before we place a claim. And what makes those field voxels special is that they're not player voxels, meaning that most the copy commands will not copy a game voxel. You're not allowed to use it in that sense. But we can use it as a container, and we'll talk about that later on.
I think it's
Now,
funny that the healed air is virgin air, and the deleted air is ours.
well, it has to be replaced with something because there's not really anything empty in the environment. When we look at an island, we see a visual part of the island that we're running around on and that we can dig down into. But the other part of the island that, in a sense, because it's invisible through just viewing at it, is the air environment. And it is actually all voxels already out there as well. And they're air voxels. And they can be at first, while we're running through them, are the environment, so that's the virgin air, as we call it. And then when we change it, we call it dirty air because it's half the time back when we were first discovering it, we'd do something and we'd get different outcomes, not realizing that the air around us was causing that different outcome because we were already messing around with something in that same spot. Another way to show that is, we'll talk about the smoothing tool a bit, is that I could put a selection box in front of this. So as you can see, I'm not targeting the actual wall, I'm just targeting all the space in front of it. And I'm going to take the smooth tool, I'm going to smooth those air voxels. And as soon as we smooth those voxels in front, if they are virgin air voxels, they're going to change over to our voxels like if I deleted the air. And what it's also going to do is shape that air with the smooth tool, which is going to change any voxel beside it. And just like that, I was able just to smooth the air voxels, which just smooth these outer edge voxels. I actually didn't smooth the voxels that are on the wall here.
Try again, Winter.
And I'm just going to reveal something here. This here is a putty board. What it does is just paint in the air without actually putting shapes there. And you can see how the air in front got shaped.
Good night, Daedalus. Big hugs. I like showing, you take one of these and you place it on top of one of these. Ah! Ah! And you place it on top of one of these.
So when you're building anyways, the whole thing with the tools is just be mindful that the air is also material that you're working with.
Material
So,
that you're working with
and our tools reflect that.
moves it.
They're not just what you expect them to be sometimes because of that.
Yes, they are.
Now with the smoothing tool, we also have
Smoothing.
2 settings on that.
Regular and control. It makes a different color.
We have a coarse setting when you just smooth normally. And then you got a fine setting. If you hold down your control button, you can smooth in smaller increments. What's nice about this tool is it allows unit of measurement in a sense.
A lot.
Because when we just take a default size cube that we place in the game, we could start shrinking it one by one and be able to get stages of its size, lower than the default size. And that's how we made these over here, which everyone refers to as micro voxels.
Thank you, spider. Microvoxels. These are microvoxels. I made these birds.
Now, when we're smoothing, it's bringing in the corners equally on all the 8 corners. And what that does is when you try to place one against a normal voxel again, because it is shrunken down inside the default size, it's going to pull any shape towards it to fill in that gap.
See how it pulled it up?
Now, in order to reshape the voxel, you would just take your micros that you made by smoothing down the default and stacking them up and smooth it down that way, and then grab a center one. What that does is anchor the voxel at the default selection box locations. And that way it sits nice and flush on the floor. And you get these aligned strings.
A good example of this, I love showing this when we put a stretched one down. A good example of this is if you come in here where my checkerboard is, I stuck one down right here in the middle, and that one I stuck down pulled in the floor, and then I deleted it. And that shows that even though I deleted it, it still pulled in those voxels underneath it. So if that was air, that's the shape the air would be.
Exactly, because all you did when you deleted it is replace that material with air. You don't do anything else, except for, like I said, that there's that top east corner reset in the delete tool that you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. So if we painted this like dude right here, well, first I like to show also underneath the microvoxel, if you decide to try to flatten the floor. Oh, my alt click stopped working. My alt click stopped working. It's gonna reshape the microvoxel because you've now changed those where those corners lie, right? My alt click stopped, so I have to pick my, yeah, fun.
Yeah, no worries. The tools are constantly shifting on us.
Alt click, that's another really cool tool. There's 2 really cool tools that I did not realize are tools until later on in the game. I'd played for several months. If you alt click something, whatever you click, it's supposed to. Mine just whacks out on me every once in a while. It's closed beta, so but it changes your texture that's here to that texture, so that's really cool. And the other thing is shift click. So if I'm putting down a block of something, I can shift left click, and it brings up the tweak tool, which this is what we call the tweak tool. Sometimes the tweak tool, if you're pasting something, it will have a mirror here. This is to make it bigger or smaller, and to rotate it or to move it. So you can just highlight the arrow, move it up or down.
Um, you know how to fix the whole alt click bug?
How?
Hit your add tool. Have your add tool out. Now hit control. Now it should work. Now your alt thing
It
should work.
did. You're amazing. Add tool, control, alt click. Thank you. See, you teach me things all the time, Risen. I'm so proud. So let's replace this with something that you can see how flat that is. How it changed that box. So that's a little easier to see how to change that box to a more like a triangle shape than the micro that it was. Yay, you fixed my alt click. How did you know that? Paint. Okay, I'm sorry, I get sidetracked.
Oh,
I'm
no
ready
worries.
to keep going too.
Yeah, no, we're just, this is one of those,
Pull it
just,
out, flip it over, stack it, get it out. You've got a really cool shape. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing too, is playing the game, so we want to keep the fun in there
Carla,
too.
Butchie,
So
wee
everyone's in
wee.
this working forward in a lesson, like I was with a player
What
that
else am I missing?
was asking for help.
Spazzed man.
Another thing, like with when you put that string on the ground, you colored those corners to show what the boxes did underneath.
Spider.
You can, with the way we place the shapes in the game, whenever we place something is the controlling shape. It is always going to make everything in the environment pull towards its corners because of the connection between the corners being are always connected. It's a must. There's no way to break that inheritance over the grid until we talk about roaming vectors, but that's still not breaking the rule. It's just giving us a different visual. We'll talk about that one later. But like the string on the ground, if I were to select a box right beside it, like one of the boxes right underneath it, that you painted white, if I reset it by just placing the block in there, you can see how it only affected these two top corners that are on my side from you. And it also affected the two ones you painted on the left and right of me.
It makes it a little bitty thing. That's fun. Nice.
So, I mean, when we're working in a way, what we're always considering, and there's something to think about, is just where these corners are.
Oh yeah.
Not really the shape you're working with, but how the corners are going to connect each of the shapes.
That wall. Is that the wall you're talking about? The voxel wall? I use it so much I made one. In fact, a lot. I use it a lot. And I break it out a lot too.
We also have the paint tool. And the paint tool is like your paint bucket in PC Paint. For your selection, it will paint anything within that selection. Or you can use it just like your add tool and delete tool. It has the size adjustment as well. And it will paint anything within that size selection.